Ever wondered if the Germans considered building a kamikaze-style plane? Stay tuned to learn more. Thanks for watching. Today I visited a small military museum located in Majorba, in the foothills of the Gold Coast hinterland in Queensland, Australia. Link in the description. It may not look like much on the outside, but there are a few interesting items on display. It's also a great place for paintball skirmish in a bush setting. Immediately inside, you find yourself in the reception that has about a dozen display cabinets containing everything from memorabilia and curios to empty shell casings and a wide variety of firearms from the American Wild West period in history. Quite a collection. The entry fee was very reasonable at $10 per adult and children 4 to 13, $5.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us.
Today we're at the
Gold Coast War Museum.
The Supermarine Spitfire Mk was developed during World War II for operations in tropical and harsh climates. This specific example, with the fictional squadron identifier RAF, showed some wear but still looked impressive. The Mark 8 came in three main versions: Merlin 61F, Merlin 66LF for low-medium altitudes, and Merlin 70HF for high altitudes. With an added under-fuselage fuel tank, it boasted a range of nearly 1,100 kilometers, a significant improvement from the usual 770 kilometers. Top speed was in excess of 405 miles per hour, and initial climb rate at sea level about 4,500 feet per minute at full military power. Standard armament was two 20mm Hispano cannons and four 303 Browning machine guns. Bombs could also be carried. Deployed in the Mediterranean, Southeast Asia, and Pacific, it was effective against Japanese aircraft, although pilots were still reminded to never dogfight a Zero. Over 1,600 Mark 8s were made. Here, you can catch a quick glimpse of the extra fuel tank mentioned earlier. The German Feisler Fi-103R, or Reichenberg, was a piloted suicide version of the V1 flying bomb. Although I understand the idea was for the pilot to bail out just before impact. How this could be practically achieved, that's another matter. The odds of surviving a bailout were not good due to the cramped cockpit and proximity of the ram jet intake. I love the grey mottled paint job on this example. You gotta admit it looks good. The Reichenberg project produced around 175 units. Powered by a pulse jet engine, it could reach speeds up to 800 km per hour, 497 miles per hour, with a range of about 330 kilometers or 205 miles, but it was tricky to operate. Packing 850 kilograms or 1,900 pounds of high explosives, I presume the intended targets were military installations, bomber formations, and shipping. Volunteers were chosen and a squadron was formed, called the Leonidas Squadron, not a good portent, formerly Fundstaffel der Kampfgeschwader 200. Fortunately, the turning tide of war meant none were ever used operationally. Past the collection of display cabinets and torpedo, we arrive at the rear half of the museum. Let's take a quick look at some of the items on display here. The P51D Mustang with a bubble canopy, laminar wings, and Rolls-Royce Merlin engine reached well over 400 miles per hour and had excellent high-altitude performance. Note the missing propeller spinner of this example. Mustangs could fly a round trip from London to Berlin on internal fuel. Armed with 6 50 caliber machine guns, it played a key role in securing Allied air supremacy despite the heavy sacrifice of young aviators. The Mustang remains the most iconic American fighter of World War II. For those who've watched my World War II German Armour video, you've already seen a brief introduction to the Lehký tank Vzor CZ Awesome, commonly called the Panzer 38T. In addition to the Czechs and Germans, Model 38 tanks were sold as far afield as Iran and Peru. Peru purchased 24 Tanque 38 in Czechoslovakia, delivered before the country was annexed by Germany. They took part in the month-long Peruvian-Ecuadorian War in July 1941, contributing to a crushing Peruvian victory. No pun intended. The Peruvian army used them alongside truck-mounted infantry and towed artillery. If you're still here, thanks for sticking around. Overall, we found the experience quite enjoyable. For me, the highlight was certainly the Reichenberg V1 and the Spitfire Mk. The large collection in the display cabinets would have taken decades to fill, testament to the dedication of a few individuals. It's thanks to small museums like this one that original items are preserved for future generations as a grim reminder of the cost of war. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe.